What is going on? And welcome back to the audio experience. This is Colin Mason, and I got some juicy for you today. I got a question in the UIG this week, basically saying, hey, I have a series of assets and projects that I've invested in for my bull run bag. Should I buy the dip? Now, what does that mean? That means when the price drops, should I buy more? Should I continue to dollar cost average, or should I just not buy anymore? And I basically followed that up with a series of three different questions that we can ask. And I think that these three questions are the foundation to help us build and make more so make wise investment decisions. And the three questions that I posed to the gentleman who asked this question was, has anything fundamentally changed with the asset or the project? Right. And if you've heard any of my lectures or teachings, you've probably heard me ask that question before. And what I mean by that is when you take a look, like remove the price action, right? Don't think about the price action right now. Think about the fundamentals of the actual project itself. When you take a look at Bitcoin, has anything fundamentally changed with that project? It may have dropped in price, but has anything actually changed? So, what I like to do is I like to look at communities, I like to look at the news, and I like to look at like any announcements or anything new that has been announced. Now, Bitcoin may be a separate example, but for um, all these other assets and DEX tokens and interoperability solutions and oracles and all these other projects that are building atop all these blockchains, go to their communities, look at their announcements, look at the recent news that has come out, and ask yourself, has anything fundamentally changed? And what does that mean? That means is the team still operating and in control? Has there been any kind of hacks or any malicious attacks on their project? Is there, have they completely changed their roadmap? Like that's something to consider as well. And so when you see the price dip, that could be a market thing, right? Could just be, hey, the market is correcting, or it could be, hey, something has fundamentally shifted within this project. So that's the first question I would ask myself. The second question I would ask myself when I'm asking, should I buy this dip is this project continuing to build and expand? In other words, are they continuing on the mission that they originally set? And I think that's an important piece, especially when we're evaluating various crypto and Web3 projects that we're investing in. Because obviously, why we're investing in them is, yeah, of course, price appreciation to get a return on our investment, of course. But ultimately, you're investing in those projects because you believe in their mission, you believe what they're trying to accomplish. And so the second question I ask is, are they continuing to build and expand on that vision and on that mission that they had originally set out to do? Why you're invested with them in the first place? And if the answer is no, that might be a reason to not buy the dip, right? Maybe you're satisfied with the position that you already have, but now as the price dips, is the question is, do I deploy more fresh capital into that project? Well, if they're not continuing to build and expand on that mission that you are excited about, well, maybe it's a time to hold off. Or on the flip side, maybe they are building and they're taking things to the next level. That might be a reason to buy the dip and increase your exposure to that project because now you see that they're making great progress towards their mission. So that's number two. And then the third question that I would ask myself, when I get posed with the question, should I buy the dip? I ask myself, would I want to hold this asset long term? It is something I always ask myself because I think when I filter my answer through that question, it will really help me determine, hey, am I just trying to trade this token here? Am I just trying to get a quick flip and make a quick buck? Or is this something that I'm actually investing in? And I think there is a big difference between trading and investing. Trading is generally a more short-term viewpoint, and you're less focused on the actual mission. So to bring us back to the first two, meaning what problem are they solving and stuff like that is trading, you're less concerned about that and you're more so focused on that price action. Can I buy it here so I can sell it here? Which is a great strategy to use. But then the approach that I'm taking with this third question here is, well, what I want to hold this asset long term? Is this something that I believe in and that I want exposure to inside of my portfolio? If the answer is yes, then that might be a reason to continue to add exposure with fresh capital into this project. So hopefully this brought you some value today. Again, three questions I ask when I pose the question, should I buy this dip? One is, has anything fundamentally changed with the asset and project? Number two, are they continuing to build and expand? And number three, would I want to hold this long term? So with that being said, if you have any questions, please jump back into the UIG. ask questions in the community, get engaged, join our live streams. There's a lot of great information that expands on this topic. And with that being said, I will see you in the next episode.